we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the Tonemaster Deluxe Reverb in blonde and why it's different to the black version. So the Tonemaster series from Fender is a faithful recreation of some of their most famous and legendary amps. So they do the Deluxe Reverb, they do the Twin Reverb. The reason that they are so sought after is because that they are using this digital technology to recreate the amps almost faultlessly, I think. There's countless videos online of people comparing the two against each other, and you really can't tell the difference. They sound amazing. So in a minute we'll have a look at the difference between the blonde version and the black version, but if we quickly jump into what the Deluxe Reverb is, we've got a normal channel and we've got a vibrato channel. Those are recreations of the normal and vibrato channel on a normal Deluxe Reverb. Obviously you have vibrato and reverb on the vibrato channel, which you would expect. There are some key differences that they've added with the blonde one, which again we'll get into in a moment, but the main reason you would go for one of these amps is because they're faithful recreations of those legendary amps, but they've also got this added versatility on the back. So on the back there's an attenuator, so you can bring that recording noise down. You can mute the amps while you're recording as well. They have an emulated out on the back, and what that means is that it uses cabinet simulation technology to essentially give you a mic'd up sound of the amp so that you could record with it or send it to your front of house, which means you could run the amp silently through the speaker and then go straight from the back into your interface, into your recording setup, or straight to that, if you're at a gig, to the front of house. So let's have a listen to how this amp sounds when it's mic'd up and when it's also using the line out on the back, and we'll cut between the two. So here's the difference between this amp, which is the blonde one, in comparison to the black one that was released about a year ago. The first difference is going to be in the speaker configuration. So the previous black models had an N12K neodymium speaker. This has now been replaced with a Celestion Neo Creamback, which Fender say provides a more rock and roll style tone. One of the great things about these neodymium speakers is it completely removes most of the weight from the speaker, which means that the overall weight of these amps is so much less than if you had a regular, normal, all-valve Deluxe Reverb. Furthermore, this means that the blonde amp is slightly lighter than the black amp, which means that if you're going out and gigging regularly, these amps already weigh 50% less than the regular Deluxe Reverb. If you're moving the amp around regularly, that's an absolute lifesaver. The second feature to mention is on the vibrato channel. So they've removed a capacitor from the vibrato channel, which makes it bright. Previously, that was something that people would mod their amps to get rid of. It makes it more friendly for overdrive and distortion pedals because obviously you're not getting that harsh, bright end. They've removed it on this, and you can really sort of tell the difference if you plug another pedal in. We're not going to demo that now, but it's something to bear in mind when you have a look at these amps. The third feature is that the reverb knob now has better resolution at lower values. So previously on these models, the reverb was quite hard to dial in when it was between, let's say, 1 and 4. On these models, there's a little bit more resolution. The curve is a little bit more gentle, which means that you can dial in that sweet spot a little bit easier. So that's a really nice quality of life feature that they've added. So the final difference between this and the black one is going to be that the microphone emulation on the back with the IRs is going to be slightly different. With this model, we've now got a Shure SM57 and a Sennheiser MD421 microphone to capture their IRs, which is slightly different from the black one. These are obviously what Fender are feeling are more appropriate to capture the sound of these amps. So let's have a listen to how they sound in a jam context. So in that jam, we used one of the new Fender Vintera road-worn Strats and also a 60th anniversary road-worn bass. But back to the amp, I think if you are looking for a deluxe reverb, but you're looking to save your back and have a bunch more features and a bit more versatility, when you're not working with tubes, you're not going to get some of the issues that arise with tube amplifiers. So sometimes they crackle. They can be a bit of a pain to bias occasionally. You have to swap the tubes out. You're not going to have these problems with this particular model. And this particular model comes with some great upgraded features which just make it a little bit more friendly for the user. Having a digital amp also means that you can update the software. We've heard rumors that there is an upgrade coming to the black version to bring it more in line with what Fender are trying to do with these models. So that's really cool. It means that you've got an amp that essentially keeps evolving. But let us know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you soon.